with Dark Bindings. Rengar taken away against Mima. Mundo taken away against Mima as well. We've already seen him running that one. And then the Vayne Shyvana removed as the final two bans for SHC as they go into first pick.
You can tell that Salad, Tomato, Onion have done their research. They've really been watching what's been important for these two, for the team here. Conversely, I'd say the only real targeted ban there is Vayne. STO do like to run Lucian when available, but obviously Lucian is a high priority pick, although at the moment, I've got to say, actually, it's not been locked in instantly, which is not what we've been seeing all day, to be honest.
So we're going to have the first pick here for Mima, which of course, Evelynn. I mean, whether that goes in the jungle with Impale, which we've seen him really been running, Mima can also play Evelynn in lane, but don't really expect that one to happen. Right now, STO switching up between Elise, who they've already locked in, and their second pick, they were hovering over Galio. They had a bit of Zilean in there. They're right now sat on Yorick.
But Yorick is a character they play in the game. In fact, where they were against Copenhagen Wolves, they were playing Yorick. It might actually be psychology here, right? What they have done there is they've shown that Yorick is still open. They've made absolutely certain everybody knows it. And hence Super Hot Crew now have to consider that possibility. There's no chance of them forgetting about that. STO can leave that Yorick pick till much, much later on if they want to. Leave Elise as either a flexible jungle, top, or mid pick. And make sure they keep their options open while making sure Super Hot Crew keep theirs fairly close to their chest.
So it was, in the end, Thresh and Lucian pulled in there, that bottom lane, or that duo lane, we should say. Obviously not safe to call it a bottom lane anymore. For STO then, what are we going to see out of them? Looks like we could have Taric picked up, and we'll be locked in actually here for Kuja on the support, and a possible Z selection for Spontex, which would kind of surprise me to see that come out this early, considering the fact that they have last pick. You don't need to pick a mid laner yet.
That is true, but Gragas might be another option, and Gragas is one we've seen Spontex playing, I hesitate to say it, but almost nothing but. Although they have actually opted to hold on to that for later. And I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of Taric, honestly. At the moment, since the patch came in, his win rate has skyrocketed in solo queue. And he is, if you actually do the numbers on the kind of gold value of his aura, especially late game, but even early on when he just has the flat bonus from maxing his W, it's really huge. Like, he is giving your team tons of armor.
Well, let's see what SHC finished off with here. Obviously, Morgana was banned away from Moops. I was going to say Renekton is still open, which kind of surprises me after 7 picks that Renekton is still on the table. And we're picked up here by Heidel and also the Ziggs choice for Moops. So now STO now, they have the chance to counter that in lane with basically whatever Spontex wants to play.
Yeah, but there is an interesting thing here in that Lee Sin has been picked out at the same time as Elise. Now, both of them are strong invading, ganking junglers, but they picked Elise essentially to keep it out of the hands of their opponents. But in so doing, they may have picked themselves into a situation where Elise is going to have to go up against Renekton. A skill-based matchup, but it favors Renekton as long as he doesn't get killed early on.
Well, we'll see if he gets killed early on. Don't want to rule that one out at this point. Spontex as well, their last choice being Kassadin, and as we said, that one was left-right till the very last pick. And Spontex will be hoping that he can hit a bit better of a form curve than what happened in the last game, playing as Kha'Zix against KMT was just not his day.
It was a horrific matchup, though. He was in a really, really bad one-on-one matchup. Kayle versus Kha'Zix is not winnable one-on-one. And then his jungler got early invaded, got killed, and kept getting invaded, kept getting pushed down on his luck. That was essentially forcing him into a one-on-one, and the only ganks that would come in would be against him.
Well, guys, we are going to be loading into this game, but whilst we have 3 minutes to kill from it, we're going to leave you with a little bit of music, but when we come back, of course, it will be the Super Hot Crew versus STO. Hey, guys, welcome back. We're about to jump into game between Super Hot Crew and STO. We had a little bit of a pause there at the start of things, which is why we didn't jump straight in after those 3 minutes. But interesting to see how this one goes, because STO don't really have any pressure on them whatsoever. We can see that they're already going for a 4-man invade down on this bottom side.
They were spotted out by Impaler, and they did not see Impaler. So right now, STO are actually at a serious disadvantage. They probably have the stronger level 1 fight right now, but not so far ahead that they couldn't risk someone getting caught out and bursted down if they walk straight into a Thresh hook. So can STO get through this area safely? We're about to find out.
Oh, this is dangerous. Airwax waiting. Is he going to throw down the Q? We are going to see them fight. There is a flay across all 5 players. They're going to go low. Impaler actually has to flash away, but first blood goes to Hydal. They're going to chase down Gob here, and the rest of the team trying to get away from the bottom side of the jungle. Impaler is going to be waiting here. He should be able to do any mop-ups, and he is going to go in for Airwax, but he dies. Airwax landing the Q right onto him there. That is a kill from that one. Mima is still chasing this one off. Spontex now being attacked by 2 of them as well. Spontex doesn't have a flash here. He's gonna have to try and escape it, but he won't. Hydal picks up his second. Why was Yuki trying to recall there? I'm not sure, but I think he's got enough distance between him and the enemy team. And what a crazy start to this one. 2 for 1. In the end, I don't think Impaler really needed to die there, to be honest with you. SHC keeping on the pressure here at the blue buff.
That flay, though, Mixer starting off the fight with a hell of a bang, and it's a disruption for the entire enemy team, and at this stage of the game, actually really significant damage, plus the element of surprise. They were caught well with their pants down and had to run for it as a result. I do have to agree, though, on Impaler there. I don't really know what he was thinking, because he walked up to a character who has a very high damage early game nuke, which is also an execute, and he had about 150 health, so it wasn't. Mistakes were made there by Impaler, but that is just how it goes, and it still definitely favors them overall.
Crazy, crazy start, and the funny thing is, it leaves Hydal on Lucian at 2 for 0 right now. That is scary stuff. As Kuja actually getting hooked in here, Flay will land, and he might be 3 for 0. Kuja forced to flash. It looked like he was napping there underneath the tower.
And this is one of the weaknesses with Taric. If you can't push out relatively early on and get the level 2 a little bit faster than your opponents, you suffer seriously badly from being a melee support, being pushed back, but never being able to actually make an engage happen. Now, Impaler in the top, then going for Elise.
Yeah, going to try and get him from that one. The stun comes down. I think they've got the damage here as well. Impaler, though, not able to get in range to finish that one off, but his bottom lane, the 2v2, the damage coming in constantly from Hydal. And Kuja has to be so very, very careful. Obviously, he does have a heal, but it's not really much of one, is it?
No, it does add up over time. And generally, nowadays, Tarics tend to max that second, but there is another engage in top.
Yeah, all going in there as Airwax actually coming around. Impaler gets hit with the Q there, which may have just saved Mima's life, to be honest. He was going very, very low. Impaler going to do a run through the enemy jungle here. And we'll see if he actually gets into range to have a bit of a go at Airwax, who is tanking up the big golem. Actually does finish it off there and will escape back off to the lane. But there is a hook on towards Yuki. Have they got the damage this time to finish him off? He's going to go very low from this one, and it is finished off. This time it's Mixer that gets that one. Kuja trying to put the damage back on towards Hydal, but this bottom lane, talk about a disaster.
Yeah, starting off in the worst possible way by giving Lucian kills, giving him an experience advantage, and getting into the lane earlier than their opponents so they could start the push. And Mixer started with a Fortitude pot. That means he is incredibly difficult to deal with, very, very, very tanky, and does more damage. Impaler once again going for the top lane, though.
Yeah, going in towards Gob, who did use his flash earlier on, of course, and this time he's not going to escape. Impaler will pick that one up, and we can see that Super Hot Crew are recalling on the bottom lane. 1,500 gold in there for Lucian. He's going to come back into lane with the workings of a Phage plus a Sheen already done. There's 1,100 gold in the mid lane as well for Moops on Ziggs. 1,000 gold for Impaler's Evelynn. And this is, it's hard to say after 5 minutes, but it's come in a dangerous position as Moops here knows that he's in a lot of trouble, putting down a lot of damage onto Spontex though, but can't quite get the finisher.
Yeah, nice little comeback there, essentially, for them. They need that kind of advantage. If they can get Kassadin to level 6 in good shape, he can potentially turn around all the lanes for them, because STO at the moment are firmly on the back foot. This is not a good situation for them. They can kind of mitigate that if they keep doing this, but every other lane is unlikely to change.
Oh wow, Lantern gank coming in there, and Hideout follows that one through. The hook will land onto Yuki, and he's already down to half HP just after that. And again, they're playing with so much confidence here in this bottom lane, but now finally, Lee Sin's coming around the back. They've not spotted him coming in. Now they finally do see him. They're going to go for Mixer this time around. He's going to die from it, but Heidel will be able to walk away. He's the one side at 2-0-1, but Airwax, the man making the plays at this point for STO.
And they need to make those plays, because on their own, the only lane that could potentially go their way right now is Kassadin. Top lane, Elise versus Renekton, we said, cannot afford to die early. You can see, trying to mitigate the fact that she did triple Doran's ring build, it's probably not going to be enough. As time goes by, Renekton will get too beefy for her to deal with, too sustainy for her to harass down, and he will grind her down. But now it looks like STO are not done with bot lane.
Yeah, Airwax actually coming in from this one. Heidel actually does have Flash available. Lantern coming in as well, but Impaler's there as well. They managed to land the hook onto him. There is the shutdown. Kuja's going for Heidel, but he's got nowhere near enough damage, and there's another 2 kills. A flash away now from Yuki. Well, he will actually walk straight in. 90 caliber net over into Dragon. Stays alive, but nonetheless, another 2 kills for Heidel. 4-0-1 after not even 10 minutes.
Top lane.
Yeah, top lane Mimer's in trouble, and he's probably not going to escape from this one. Trying to take Gob with him, but Spontex actually using that teleport to good effect in there to get that kill back.
Yeah, it was a really good teleport. Good awareness, because Spontex was not able to make anything happen in the bot lane. The fight went too far against him. And I've got to say, Mixer is making some serious plays this game. He is he is the reason Lucian is now getting even more fed in the bot lane, getting a lot of kills and indeed zoning out his opponents. But STO looking like they might want to bait this out. They know exactly where SHC are, but looks like at the moment they're not going to want to go for it.
Oh, there's a ward down. Spontex position already spotted. Moops has no ulti available at this point. And with Impaler coming in, Airwax actually taking a bit of a retreat towards his Tribush. Heidel going to get that ward down, and that gives their position away somewhat. Mixer actually being chased at this point by Airwax. That's not really going to do anything for him, and that blue buff is then given over towards Moops. They're going to go for him here. Airwax, knowing that he has to get away, of course, can safeguard off to the rest of his team. There is the Lantern. Heidel will take that one, and he gets back to the support for safety.
Very nice deal by Super Hot Crew. Nice timing on it. Spontex not able to be there for that fight. And Airwax actually made a good call. He tried to go for an opportunistic gank by going over the wall. He abandoned the blue buff very quickly, just kind of realizing it was not an option, but didn't work out for him. He is going to find Moops though. Yeah,
Moops. He lands the Q, goes in onto him, but he didn't want any part of that one, did Airwax? He just dashes off to the ward afterwards. Will find himself back in safety and back in his jungle, but he has lost his own red buff. Impaler has taken that one away.
And indeed, Impaler is going to find Airwax.
Yeah, and we see Renekton is there as well, though. This could actually be really dangerous for Airwax. Impaler going very low. There is a flash out for him. Mimer does kill off Airwax, but can Impaler escape? No, he can't. Spontex comes around the side. There is a flash, actually, from Spontex coming in as well. And SHC not able to lock him down. He'll have a Rift Walk available here in any second, and there it is to get him back behind the tower.
Really nice bait by Impaler, using the Agony's Embrace shield to make sure that Gob going in for him was going to go for that kill, but be unable to get it. Moops now could potentially find Spontex, though.
A lot of damage. There's the ulti as well, but Spontex, I don't know, he's casted in at the end of the day. He's always going to be able to escape from that one as Heidel continues this unrelenting pressure down in the bottom lane. He's 4-0-1. Actually, credit to Yuki, you know, he's pretty much staying up level with him in CS even after all that.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, that's a box and a flash again from Kuja, whose flash has not spent much time off cooldown. Impaler here, though, getting caught out in the enemy jungle. STO going to make him pay for that one, and he's 7-6 in kills right now. considering how bad the start was and the fact that Heydal's had 2 double kills, this is not half that bad. And Heydal here, he's surely going to go down, uses the barrier, but he's burning from the Ignite. One more tick will do it. It's not there, but Spontex is headed around as well. One more auto attack will do it. There is the push in. The flayback. Mixer actually is going to die from this. Heydal, ace in the hole. Double kill for Caitlyn. This is actually really bad for SHC.
Yeah, they are suddenly back on completely even gold, and that is a massive, massive turnaround from what we were seeing. Incredibly good play across the board, and I've got to say, a lot of that is just down to how strong Taric actually is right now. You saw that, in spite of how much difficulty they've been having in the lane, in spite of how many items Lucian has over Caitlyn, in spite of how weak Caitlyn is at all-ins, Taric goes man mode, goes straight in for them. Thresh pops the box, they just walk through it. Taric does not care, and they come out on top.
And Airworks has just taken the red buff. So now Impaler stole his. They got the kill onto him, got it back, and now they've stole the enemy one as well. As there is the moving from Airworks. He was trying to get behind him to get the kick, and he is going to be able to kick him away. He tanked up a lot of turret hits there. Mook's still alive, but Spontex is able to finish that one off. Can he escape the rest of them though? No, he can't. Mixer with the flay finishes off the kill. Crazy game.
Yeah, there's a lot of action going on across the board right now, but it's favoring STO significantly thus far. The only lane that hasn't really had much action at the moment is the top lane. Gob is slowly getting pushed back, though. He's losing on CS now, and he's already committed so much gold to those Doran's rings. Renekton will be a big, big threat, but not a huge difference opening up between them at the moment. So both teams can basically afford to leave top lane alone for now, and I think the next play from both teams, again, is probably going to be based around the Dragon. If Taric Caitlyn can push out this lane, it would give them that opportunity to maybe go for it.
Well, they've already got the tower down, of course, and funnily enough, they lead in terms of tower kills at 1-0. And Kuja here just checking out the Dragon. Actually doesn't have a pink ward with him, so he's not able to put that down. But there is Impaler, finds him inside. He's going to be able to literally just walk away from that one. Impaler not really feeling it. The hook goes through, but Kuja already out of range.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight 96 armor now on Taric with no armor items whatsoever. And that's pretty significant at this point. He has not yet maxed his Shatter. In fact, it's only rank 3. So it does look like they are going to hunt this down. Oh,
this could be really bad for SHC again. This is 3 men closing in, and Mixer already going low. There's the ace in the hole coming out, and just going to be so very hard for him to escape. Kuja actually going in on towards Impaler. There is Heydal taking a lot of damage. Yuko is going to flash in there as well as the bomb from Ziggs comes through, but that's already 2 kills picked up. Impaler now going to try and desperately get away. The slow might be enough to help him out, but no, it won't. Spontex bursts him down, and that is 3-0. This is a game that started out with 2 kills for the AD carry of SHC.
And they just aren't able to make anything happen from it.
Oh,
indeed. Killing top lane,
Sorry.
Mima coming out on top there, but right now, Renekton needs to be making the roaming happen. And it does look like they're going to be going for the Dragon right now.
Well, yeah, they just cleaned up that bottom lane, so if there was ever a perfect time for going for a Dragon, this would certainly be it. And there it is, picked up nicely for STO. They're now 2,300 gold in the lead, and we said it before that this team pushed the Copenhagen Wolves to their limits. They're not a bad team.
No, STO are not, in spite of how comparatively poorly their record is. But Super Hot Crew need this game. I mean, they don't absolutely 100% need it, but if they do not win this game, it makes the bracket even more open than it was before. It's going to be a messy, messy bracket if this does go their way.
There could be possible tiebreakers in this one, which is
the best word.
Good old tiebreakers. But no, I mean, things right now are very close. You've still got the likes of KNT who are a couple of games behind everyone else, to be honest, in terms of what they've already played. They're going to be going up against the Copenhagen Wolves next, so that's going to be a real interesting game to watch. But for now, this one most definitely not over. They're going to go in for Impaler. They combo everything together, and he's dead. Not going to be able to escape that one. Airwax kicked him back. Airwax will pay the price, but STO continue to chase down. Heydal has to use his barrier, but it's Yuki at the back with Caitlyn doing all the damage. Spontex comes in, though, cleans things up, and this is another kill coming down. It's Yuki that gets that one, and that is a 4 for 2. That might not be even over now, though. Mima getting a little bit too big for his boots here, possibly. Gob going to be tanking up that turret. They've got minions coming in as well. And there is the ace for STO. 5 for 2, actually, in the end, because Kuja died as well.
STO are absolutely on fire right now, making like amazing plays. You've got to give so much credit to Airwax, making multiple kickback maneuvers here, and indeed Spontex jumping in has just been doing so much work for his team. He's actually even able to take advantage of the Force Pulse, which since the changes to Kassadin, people have been maxing Force Pulse on him. Formerly it was generally Null Sphere, but since they nerfed the base damage on that and upped the base silence, it makes Kassadin actually a little bit more of an AoE threat, and Spontex has been taking full advantage of that, hitting multiple people with his main damage nuke at once.
Yeah, certainly changed more into it. I mean, it always was as well, but a very clean-up type champion, which is what Spontex is doing really well with right now. 626 Rod of Ages done. Got that needlessly large rod in there as well. If you look at the AD carries, we saw double kill early on at level 1 for First Blood as well for Lucian, plus another double kill after that. He's now got Trinity Force, but Caitlyn, Yuki on the other side, he's now 517, has the Bloodthirster already in there, got a pickaxe and a Zeal as well.
And such a difficult lane to begin with, and yet in spite of that, keeping himself completely on par and now significantly ahead as a result of that. Spontex actually teleporting though. Mima's in trouble.
Yeah, Spontex going to come in from this one. Mima is trying to retreat from things, but can you retreat from a slow, from a silence, from a cocoon? No, is the real answer from this one. He's going to try, but Spontex obviously can keep up with him. Spontex will finish off for his 7th kill of the game. It looks like SHC are going to go for a push on this mid lane though with that, and they're going to take down that outer turret in the mid lane, their second one of the game. But look at this, STO is starting to come in around the side. The Q lands on Sahedal, he gets behind him, the slow comes in as well. Who's he going to kick back? He's trying to get in there for Ziggs, but I think they've done enough to really stop them as Spontex gets hooked. But SHC all very, very low. Kuja now pulled into the middle of the fight. He will be the sacrificial lamb really in that one, as they went a little bit deeper than they'd expected, I think. It's a 1-for-1, and the tower actually went over to SHC. They're not going to be too unhappy about that.
And it was, again, a really nice hook there by Mixer that caused STO to come out worse in that engagement. Pulling in Spontex, predicting the Rift Walk, nicely done, but it was a very, very clutch situation, and they can't just rely on Mixer catching people out like that. And at the moment, the momentum is still firmly in STO's favor.
And look at that, the 280 cards that I was talking about earlier, 1,500 gold is the difference between them at this point. I mean, the advantage obviously over for Yuki's 130 to 102 CS, and that's the thing, they were very much focused on kills in that early game, and I said it, I remember saying it, even after that two kills came in for Heidal, that Yuki was still keeping up with CS, and he's very much focused on making sure that his farm's right and getting involved in the team fights, and he's been paid off for that right now.
Yeah, it's really working out well for them, because apart from anything else, Yuki is being left to pretty much DPS as much as he wants, because Spontex is such a big threat, and they're having to respect that by retreating away, trying to kite it out using the Ziggs damage, but it's not working out unless they can get Mixer hooked, but not a reliable source of CC if they can dodge it.
And wondering as well how it comes down when they're underneath the tower. I mean, Kuja obviously, with the armor that he has, 157 at this point, is going to be able to tank up a good few hits from towers if they go in there. But STO, are they going to be able to get through those waves quick enough? I mean, Moops is going to be clearing out very, very fast, as can Lucian, of course, with the Culling in particular.
Yeah, it's one of those things where actually, because he's now so tanky, and because he makes everyone else tanky as well, he will actually be able to facilitate a lot of very aggressive plays from STO, and that's kind of the playstyle they're running at the moment.
Oh, Airwax actually going over there. He might need to get away. Actually lands the Q onto the Dragon, but will it be enough to get away? No. A little bit too cocky with that one. The Culling actually coming through. There's the ulti out of Ziggs as well, and they might have done enough to force STO away from Dragon to pick up themselves. And it didn't reset either.
And that was actually a nice, like, there was nothing wrong with what Airwax did there. He just got outplayed by, again, Mixer. He jumped across the wall with the W and was relying on being able to Q back to the Dragon. He got hooked. I think that was within his kind of expectations. What was not was the fact he got flayed out of the second part of his Q, which cancelled the dash, which cancelled his escape, and as a result, he was in a lot of trouble. It looks like there may be some aggression in top lane now.
Renekton and Elise, and we see that Gob, now he's got that Haunting Guise in there, he's got himself a bit of armor as well, he's feeling a lot stronger as he's going to rappel over on towards Mima. Cocoon, can he land it? No, goes a little bit off, and Mixer now going to land the hook there on towards Gob, and now Moops is coming in from the side, Box is down, Mixer has to flash away, but they pick up Gob. Spontex is going to die as well, that's a double kill for Ziggs.
Clutch stuff, but they are costing themselves some pressure in the bot lane. STO gonna take this tower unless Lucian can pull off something really incredible. He's already used the culling, so there's no way for him to stop that tower falling. Putting even more gold into the pocket of Yuki.
Very exciting game so far, this one. And I would have, if you'd have asked me after 5 minutes if I could call this one already, I probably would have said yes, to be honest.
Easy.
With the way that was going, but they changed it around. They've got a gold lead. We've just seen another couple kills come back, though, to bring Ziggs to 336. He's now got that Rabadon's Death Cap complete with the Athene's Unholy Grail. That makes me wonder how strong they're going to be further on. I have to say, Impaler not having the best game that we've seen out of him so far. Been caught out a couple of times, and this one's currently sat at 159, but his damage is ramping up as well.
Yeah, he will get to be a big threat as time goes by. Although in this case, his team doesn't have a lot to kind of make sure he survives if he chooses to go in first. But he really does have to go in first on this composition, unless Renekton could get in with Slice and Dice. Not a reliable option. He will be their primary engager, and I'm surprised to see him not going straight for something like a Zhonya's Hourglass. Although actually, thinking about it, it looks like he's going for an Aegis of the Legion, so tank Evelynn almost.
Had a bit more strength into him, because he has been getting melted pretty quickly, hasn't he? So probably not the best, sorry, not the worst idea that he's ever had to get a bit more health behind him. Right now, the push from STO starting to gather around mid. Only inner towers remain in the mid and the top lane. There is the Lantern giving away Airwax's position. Are they going to go full head-on into a fight here? Certainly looks like they're ramping up towards that. You know, a decent Q that connects might just send Airwax flying in. He's already shown us that he's not scared of getting involved, but he does get caught out a little bit here. Will safeguard off to Spontex, and the culling will basically be wasted.
Yeah, the culling being used, though, not absolutely vital to Super Hot Crew. Half of the health of Airwax being gone, that could be a little bit more important, but Tarek's heals are starting to get to be, not massively relevant, but starting to be to the point where Airwax will get back to relevance, especially when coupled with his lifesteal as well.
And we see there he's already pretty high in terms of his health. Spontex just going to push out this bottom lane as well. The wards start to spread in a line on the top side of the Super Hot Crew's jungle. And Tarek, we didn't really mention, they had to work in the course of that Sunfire Cape earlier. Now got it finished off, sat at 2000 HP, at 173 armor as well.
Yeah, really good item on Tarek. It gives him the health to back up his resistances. I mean, it's basically the classic Bruiser logic. It gives you the health to back up your resistances, gives him much more time to be in the fight, doing his thing, putting out moderate sustained damage now, Tarek, thanks to that new Sheen-style proc on his auto attacks with his passive, and also longer time putting out his aura effect, his ultimate, and indeed his W. Mixer at the moment is actually quite a lot of what's keeping Super Hot Crew in this.
Yeah, a lot of clutch hooks coming through from him. Gonna need more though, gonna need to do that even further as they actually push out and start to have a go towards Kuja, who's gonna get hit by the full blast of the culling there, but Impaler down. The box was in position, but Airwax following through. He's going to kick out Heidal, but they need to follow up here with the damage. Maima's actually keeping them out of it, and now Yuki's gone down. Both Gob and Kuja are pretty low from this one. They could finish off both of them if they get in the right position. Gob, they're going super low. Will get finished off by Maima, and now Kuja running off to the side. Spontex here as well. He is pretty low, but he's got that Rift Walk to fall back on, and Kuja is now trying to run rings around them and get away from this one. I'm afraid, Kuja, that is not particularly going to work. Funny enough, the armor will work against him in this scenario as well, because the turrets aren't going to take him down as quickly as he'd probably like.
He can use Shatter, and it will cut down that passive bonus, but nope. And indeed, Flash used by Mixer, though, so I guess it's not a complete loss there. But overall there, that fight, up till now, STO have been doing a very, very good job in their team fights, but that time Yuki, I don't know if he's noticed, but flashed in, I think, to try and finish off Lucian, cancelled his own auto attack, and then just dithered around for a second and blew up. It was a very odd decision there by him, and it really, really cost them.
And he's looking like he's headed up towards that Infinity Edge here as well. Got the Shiv added into the Bloodthirst. He's had the pickaxe for a while, so I'm assuming going that way rather than the Last Whisper, because I would have thought the BF sword wouldn't be there if he was going Last Whisper first.
And it is true, at the moment there's a lot of MR on his more MR on his opponent's team than armor. There is a consideration here which I had not noticed up till now. The double Aegis of the Legion. I'm fairly sure that's not a good idea these days.
See, that's the thing, we talked about it already, kind of at the start of each day, that we're on the new patch, that not everyone has had probably the time that they've wanted to put into there, and those that have, you know, things are developing. Like, we've seen already some trends start to come up that have already faded off in the course of this 3-day tournament. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how that one works out for them. But I wouldn't say that I was too convinced either.
No, it seems like the kind of thing where it will still stack on the two people that have got the Aegises, but since they did nerf Aegis of the Legion a while back to be a little bit less efficient overall, and especially to be more focused on MR than armor, it was made into a more of a just to pick up one as a counter to AoE magic damage, rather than to stack two, because it's just such an incredibly stat-efficient item, which is what it used to be.
Well, apparently Heidal has, in fact, disconnected. They speak French to each other in chat, so I've got no idea what's going on with that. As you'd expect, as French players come up against each other, they speak French, which, no, definitely not a knock against them, but I just can't tell you guys what's really going on other than DC, which I do understand to mean disconnect, which is good. Yeah.
Okay, I can't French. But it does seem like right now we may actually see a Baron for Dragon trade. This is dangerous, but it actually looks like it's not going to be a trade. Impaler is heading up there. If you can get the Agony's Embrace on them while they're tanking the magic damage debuff, that would be amazing. But the Baron is falling down low quite quickly.
Yeah, Baron already down to 2,000 HP. Can they get in there? No, they can't. It's been taken. STO get themselves a Baron, and it looks like they want to fight this one. Impaler going incredibly low there. Mixer also going to get picked off from it. The kick back onto Maima, and Yuki is still at full HP. This is the man that we should be watching here probably, as they all bunch up. Gob right in there on top of them. Yuki still hammering away from the backside. Maima did manage to get away, but I'm not sure that the rest of them will manage it here. Impaler speeds off with a W, but Moops in the middle of no man's land. He's going to get himself stunned. Spontex comes in, but it's Kuja that gets that kill in the end. That will be a 3-for-0, plus Baron going over to STO.
Really, really, really clutch call by STO. They saw the opportunity. They knew they could actually back off if Super Hot Crew came too quickly. But what they did there was they just made absolutely certain that they were confident in their own call. They said, no, we can get this. We will get it before they arrive. And it was down to, you know, a 3 or 4 second difference. Would have been disastrous for them, but as it happened, worked out so well.
27 minutes into this one being, I think, the most energetic game that we've seen so far in terms of the total kills. I mean, we're up at 40 kills here, 27 minutes in. I'm almost 100% positive that that has not occurred in any of our other games up until now. SHC here, you know, they'd start to go down towards Dragon earlier as that Baron was started. This time they'll take it almost as more of a condolence after STO picked up Baron.
Yeah, now STO want to be making plays. They have a lot of tools to work with as to what they choose to go for next. They've got Spontex, who's getting his Void Staff there. Going to be getting pretty dangerous now for anyone to fight up against. And very, very difficult to pin down as well, thanks to being Kassadin. He's got Teleport as well. So, split pushing with Kassadin is an option, but picking off Impaler is another one.
Yeah, Impaler here is going to get himself caught out. There is a stun down onto him, puts down the ultimate, which will actually save him from that one thanks to the shield.
Very nicely done there, actually. I thought for certain he was dead in that situation. And one of the things you'll actually quite often see with Evelynn is there's a slight delay from using the ultimate and having the damage resolve to getting that shield actually appearing on you. After it's like maybe half a second between them. Sometimes that's enough for the people to burst you down if you were doing it on reaction, but Impaler judging the time very effectively and was able to keep himself alive and then run straight for Thresh's arms.
But at the same time, not something you want to use when there's a possibility of a team fight breaking out here. Just to keep yourself alive. And you see the traps already going down from this one. We've seen that Moops can clear out these waves incredibly quickly, so it's not really the end of the world. They know that they can actually get rid of them. And we see that waves pretty much being destroyed. The hook actually landing, and Mixer gonna go in. He's put down the box, but he's finished off very, very quickly. Impaler trying to get to the front, but STO didn't really lose health there. That's a bad sign for SHC.
Yeah, if they had Agony's Embrace there, they could have gone in on that. That would have worked really, really well. Mixer would have just gotten a 3-man play into like a 3- or 4-man Agony's Embrace. It would have been terrible, terrible damage, but as it happened in that case, Mixer went in, just got bursted down instantly, and his team could not follow up. They did not have the damage, and clearly disagreed with the call in general.
Yeah, and I just noticed there how hard Yuki's hitting. He did go for Infinity Edge, as I thought. Leaving that for that pickaxe for the last Whisper as well. Haydar getting a bit too close. And you see that it's a third of his HP getting off when that crit comes in from Yuki. There's the ace in the hole coming through as well. Shield certainly helping to keep him a bit healthier, but there's only one turret left outside of the base now, and that one is not going to last too long from this one. STO already on top of that one. And at 30 minutes and 50 seconds in, it's not looking bad whatsoever, except for Elise, who was being chased down here, but Gob does manage to walk away.
Yeah, very, very nice escape there. Caught essentially 3-on-1. But thanks to good usage of Repel to delay and make sure that they couldn't keep chasing for fear of being chased down by their own, the opposing team, just guts himself out, no worries, picks up a Rhyolized Crystal Scepter, making himself that little bit more tanky, and indeed also able to slow people down outside of his ultimate, which is quite important when you're trying to go for sieges. It just means a little bit more difficult, because if you stun someone, you get the Neurotoxin down on them, you get quite a lot of burst. With the slow, means your team have a little bit more time to follow up.
Such a tense game, this one as well. STO, we're going to say, having that edge after that last Baron. I mean, the gold is actually really not a lot at this point in the game. 2,500 gold between them. And that's after over 40 kills, only 30 minutes into the game. Certainly an interesting one to watch. And I'm sure STO were thinking, well, where's this fire come from in us? Why didn't it maybe come a little bit earlier on in the tournament before we went 0-3?
Yeah, they are currently playing incredibly well. But if we remember the way things went against Copenhagen Wolves, it was not in the early game where STO had any problems. Indeed, early and mid-game, their team fights, their roaming, all exceptionally good, and they pushed them back on those merits. However, their late game was where they started to fall down. They were not able to control the map as effectively as they would have liked, and they couldn't get the objectives down either. 1 minute until Baron, with most of that being cleared out now. It does seem like they intend to take another one, but they haven't really made much progress on map control. Just that one inner tower up top.
Yes, that Baron, very much opportunistic, I think, once they'd realized that the enemy team was headed down towards Dragon. But now, with the second one rocking up in less than a minute, That's where it could get really interesting. As Spontex just bringing in Mima there.
Now, I want to say something now, just because I haven't been able to say it for a while. Super Hot Crew do not have a particularly fast Baron clear this game. Ziggs, not a great contributor. Lucian is, but he's an AD carry. All AD carries are kind of assumed.
Wow, Heidel going to less than half HP. Boxes down in the middle from Mixer. There is the culling coming over. Ziggs will join in the party as well, and Spontex is ticking away. He will be finished off in the end by Mixer, as Yuki now on towards Moops, who gets one last-ditch kill. But Yuki going aggressive from this one. He has a barrier. He's already used a flash. One more hit. Should be able to do it if he's lucky. No, it's going to take two. Oh, the Peacemaker misses, and Yuki not able to mop up as he would have liked to. Oh, that is a Baron start either way. The danger here is that both three of them are rushing out of the base to try and stop this happening.
Yeah, they may take a little bit too long to do it. Yuki is doing tons and tons of damage, so they should be able to take this down relatively quickly. They will get it, I think, but they might well get engaged upon, and that could be terrible.
Oh, I'm not sure about it. Mima coming in, he gets kicked away. Baron, that's at 3,000 HP right now. They want these kills. Gob, he's going to fall very low. Now they go towards Yuki, but look at the damage back that Yuki's putting in there. He's going in for Heidel, but the stun will finish off that, and he gets shut down by Heidel. And now SHC, they have their chance at Baron. And look, it didn't reset either. That is it did, but not completely. And this is going to be Baron going down. Kuja's going to have to flash dazzle it. And that is a hard steal to make. In the end, can't do it. Surprise, surprise. SHC get the second Baron. They're now in the lead in gold by 300.
And there is a lot of gold that is sitting and waiting for SHC to take it. A lot of towers still on the board for them that would be, in relative terms, very easy to take. That, if they are able to make this work for them and get several of those towers, they will generate a lot of gold. And from that point onwards, it could be smooth sailing for them. However, they aren't going to have an easy time of it, because STO have been doing a very good job of picking off anyone who gets isolated at all using Spontex. Now they're not going to have to be concerned about towers, and they're on the defensive. That gives them a lot of tools with which to catch people out, where before they were kind of just keeping them in their base, which was bad for SHC in terms of losing objectives over time, but good in that they were just, they weren't getting picked off at all. It's pretty much impossible to catch someone out inside their own base.
Now SHC get themselves a dragon as well. That brings them up now to almost 1,000 gold in the lead, and they get their wards down in the enemy jungle as well. Generally, everything working out nicely for them at this point. If you look down some of the items, like Quicksilver Sash was picked up earlier for Heidel. He's now back on his path towards damage, as he has that working of the Bloodthirster coming in to add to that Trinity Force, and a Last Whisper on his side. Look at Taric though. Randuin's open, Sunfire Cape. Kuja's got a lot of armor
in the tournament.
He's kind of racking up towards the Mima Mundo armor that we saw yesterday or the day before. I can't exactly remember. That was, I think, 330 something that he got up to in that one. Kuja's not that far behind.
No, and he needs one or two more armor items and he'll be up there. And he probably has more potential to get the armor in total, because obviously Mundo had a Warmogs in his build, which isn't an armor item, and therefore there is a good odds on that front. That being said, Taric, although he will actually contribute quite a lot to his team's damage, especially Yuki's, because his armor shred will get ridiculous as his armor increases, he's not a major damage threat at the moment. He's mainly an aura bot, unlike what Mundo was doing, where he was an impossible split pusher.
So, blue buff is up, and SHC want it. And probably more to the point, they don't want Spontex to have it. And that will, in fact, go over onto Moops. So, that's a nice pick up on that front. There's a hook coming in. Airwax has a Banshee's Veil, which, well, funnily enough, I should mention that, gets popped straight away. And STO now could be on the back foot for a little while.
Yeah, they may look to try and get an opportunistic engage if they can get, for instance, a Lee Sin behind. Because you have to remember, if you're close to a tower, it makes it awkward to fight from Super Hot Crew's position. Airwax is angling for this. I don't think they're afraid of the Baron. Yuki does so much damage.
Banshee's Veil actually coming up there, but that'll be popped straight away. Tower goes down. SHC just back straight off from it. Heidel actually going to tank up that. As I thought Mima was going to jump in front of him there to, you know, the big tanky Renekton, maybe help out his AD carry, but it doesn't really matter. He's got a Vamp Scepter in there anyway. He's Baron buff on there, regenning up fast enough, but that's a nice pickup. Still inner turrets on the top and bottom lanes right now, though, for SHC to take down. As you said, there's a lot of gold sitting around just waiting to be picked out.
Spontex, though, he's picking up gold for free. He just teleported down there for the minions, and he's going to take that tower free.
Yeah, and they're not going to catch him because Kassadin.
Yep, just can't deal with that when it comes down to it. Maybe if they'd been able to get there a little bit quicker, maybe if they had noticed a little bit quicker and used Ziggs ultimate, they could have, but I don't think that would have helped.
Oh, Airwax here having to safeguard away, but Agony's Embrace does come down, and Airwax here might be in trouble. The Culling coming across the side. There is a flash from Mixer, he puts a box down, but actually got cocooned there. That was great reactions from STO.
Yeah, they managed to disengage very, very cleanly there, and clearly an attempt to pin them down, but it just doesn't work if you have to deal with Lee Sin, if you have to deal with Kassadin. They're just too slippery as individuals go, and those were the guys they were trying to pin down. So that's made this game even more interesting than it was, because now STO have a very, very strong AD carry. They potentially have a very, very strong team fight, but the last couple of times we've seen them hasn't been working out for them so well. But now they also have this split pushing option for them, but that they have to be very careful about Evelynn if they choose to employ that. There are so many possible options, and vision control now is going to be just paramount. There is nothing more important than that right now for these teams.
Yeah, especially with 2 minutes for both Baron and Dragon coming up there. We can see the glowing rings of those Banshee's Veils for both Yuki and Airwax. Bit of defensive stats coming out for Yuki. Basically wanting to avoid hooks at this stage.
Yeah, hooks, and it stops Evelynn from getting an easy engage. But she may go for it anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, once that Banshee's Veil is down, that was a great kick coming out of Airwax. Knocks them all back into each other. Stops the chase happening. There's a recall coming in from Elise, from Gob on the top side. They know they need to defend this inhib tower.
They are going to push this in now. Super Hot Crew have got superior poke, and unless Airwax can get another good kickback, another good engage, it may just be that they end up getting bled and lose their tower. But Airwax has shown he's very, very good at engaging, and anyone that puts a foot even a small amount wrong could get Elise stunned into Taric stun.
Oh, Heidel here going low. Stun comes in there as the ace in the holder actually lands onto Mima. They're going for Kuja. The tank is down. That's bad news for STO now. Are they going to keep going through? Impaler takes a lot of damage, actually gets out through the Lantern, and that will be a 2 for 0 for now. Have SHC got enough here? They decided to tank it up.
They're very, very tanky, the two guys that are doing it. Well, actually, Impaler, yeah, Impaler's decently tanky, actually. No, Aegis of the Legion. There you go. But between the two of them there, that engage was just a bit messy. Spontex could have just allowed that to be poked, but it looks like this isn't done.
Box actually being thrown down here by Mixer, and there we see Airwax going into the back of him. He will get in for the kill, and that's 2 going down. Make that 3, and now they're going to try and run away, but it's not easy. This is a big chasing team coming in. There was the cleanse to get out the slow, but the Q has landed. He's not going to be able to cleanse again. And Airwax, it's just a case of landing his skills at this point and stopping Heidel regenning up too much onto him. He's missed his Q again.
You can't afford to waste time like this right now. Think about the situation if it was an ace. They've got their AD carry alive. They've got 30 seconds at least until anyone comes back up. There are multiple inhibitors open. Hell, the Nexus might have been a viable option if they'd been able to clean that up a little bit quicker. As it is, probably not going to be more than an inhibitor tower or an inhibitor to go for here.
Yeah, that was a little bit messy, I think, to say the least. But STO now are going for that inhib turret. Obviously, they did get the one in the top lane thanks to Spontex's teleport, basically, earlier on. But they're backing away. They're not going to keep pushing on from this one with Impaler up in 1 second, Mima up in 5. And home guards pretty much across the board.
Understandable,
not safe
though.
to stay in, and especially when the Baron's there, of course. That's going to get started off. STO should have this one for free.
Yeah, they will clear that well before Impaler gets there. And Impaler actually needs to be a little bit careful he doesn't have to worry about being spotted out and caught. But actually, if STO were to recall there, they might think it's a... Don't stop my TP, says Airwax. He's recalling right in front of them. He knew they could see him. I guess he just figured that they would figure it was a bait.
This game, though, I have a feeling that it's not over. I mean, SHC, yes, they're behind now, even though the gold is pretty much irrelevant since everyone's up at full builds. We're going to see a Dragon going over now to SHC, which brings it to just a 500 difference. It's 24 to 27 on kills, 8-5 in turrets, though. And with 2 inhibitors open, it could swing harder for STO at this point with just taking those 2 down.
Yeah, and remember, though, Super Hot Crew took that fight over the inhib at first. They just got greedy. They stayed in a little bit too long and ended up getting cleaned up very, very messily, as you put it, by Lee Sin and Kassadin. As it is now, though, will that situation occur again between the two teams? As you say, gold is now pretty much irrelevant. Both these teams are capable of taking fights. It just depends on who gets the best initiation. But now, another fact that's coming into play is Spontex has teleport, and it's so useful late game.
Well, ask SK Gaming and XPeke. They know about that. About that teleport, the Kassadin. And Spontex, being the cheeky Frenchman that he is, I'm sure has no problems with going for something like that.
It's a genuine concern at this point for Super Hot Crew. Kassadin has actually built a Sheen, so he's going for a Lich Bane. He genuinely actually wants to make plays like that. He is looking for that potential. If Super Hot Crew ever engage, push out really, really far, go for for the win, they have to take account of how fast Kassadin will push. He gets his AP into bonus damage on buildings, and that means he takes towers quickly. If they actually Ziggs bomb to stop him, it actually speeds up his attack speed. That makes him a little bit quicker. But right now, the inhibitors is just being poked down almost uncontested.
Yeah, Culling coming through there, but really not really denting Airwax. And this inhib should get finished off here shortly. Ah, the hook did land, but it only, of course, popping the Banshee's Veil of Yuki. As Impaler does take a lot of damage, and there is the box going down. They're going to go for the fight. Kuja goes low. Kuja is down and out. This could be bad for STO. We do see the Zhonya's from Gob. Is that going to be enough to keep him alive? Spontex actually got flayed as well there. This is really bad for STO. Push coming through. Airwax flashes away from the water bomb from Ziggs. Ace in the hole did come through and did get moops in the end. STO just turning around now.
They've got the cleanup crew.
Well, they could go a little bit deep if they're not careful on this one. Mixer actually is going to go down in the end, and I'm saying this is bad for STO, and you just forget that Yuki somehow, the AD carry that's so beefy, is still alive there at the back, still able to take chunks out of everyone that's in front of him.
Hadel is alive though, but he's not anymore.
No. Comes out of that one, getting a little bit too greedy. Mima actually doing good damage, but he's going to go down as well. There is the ace, finally finished off by STO, and they're going to take that one. I thought that Super Hot Crew were going to push them back there in that mid lane. Yuki comes in, and he's like, nope, I am just blasting through all of you. Then we see the Nexus go down, and STO pick